Hi guys, I'm Mike, and today I'm here with Leo. He's going to teach me the art of posing.
Yes, let's get it done. Let's get it done. So, right, posing. Let's go through the mandatory poses at first, the most important part. So you stay there, face this way for me. So obviously me and you have done pose before. So let's pick it up, do front pose, mandatory.
Pose.
Yeah. Cool, great. Quarter turn to the right. Cool, quarter turn to the right. Quarter turn to the right. Cool. Okay. Well, I mean, definitely from where we started last time, definitely so much better. Let's get into the front pose again.
Okay.
So let's start tweaking. So your front pose, right. Cool. The foundations that you've got are correct, definitely, but we can definitely polish it up a lot more. Okay. So if we start from the bottom half,
right.
So like you said, like you were doing, weight, left leg, and then this one's just on the ball of your foot. Now, what you can do with the base of your body is if you put a bend in this left leg, first of all, what you're doing is you're actually creating an illusion because now your bottom half is wider, and because this bottom half is wider, it's going to make your waist a lot smaller. And it looks aesthetic, you know, when doing the front pose, what I aim to achieve is this kind of X shape. So by having your legs out here and your arms here, you've kind of got this X shape. So really emphasize that bend in your left leg.
Well, is it full going forward or to the left?
So basically, bodybuilders, I know we're not doing bodybuilding, but when they tense their leg, if you turn your feet out, you get more of the, what's called the vastus lateralis, there's the sweep of the leg, and it will make your leg look bigger. So don't ever have your toes pointing forward. Okay. So when you're out here, this one's pointing out, and then this one's pointing out also.
So more like this?
Yeah.
Is this too wide or?
No, it's not. I mean, it varies. It's not like a certain dogma that you follow that people have. What you can do, you'll see people on stage, some people will have it much wider, some people will have it like that. I would say that's probably actually the narrowest to go. So I would suggest going a little bit wider. Yeah.
Wow. There?
A little bit in, yeah, back there, perfect, yeah, and then put more of a bend in that leg, lean over to that side, great, yeah, cool. So, yeah, your legs are fine. What I'd usually do, I remember last time when we got the stick out, is just to make sure that this is parallel, really. Yeah, that's the best way to have it. It just looks neat, it looks polished and tidy. Great, so top half, let's do, so front pose for me. Great. So your torso is definitely great, you know, you're definitely in condition. The thing that you've got that you don't show off, you know, is definitely your lat here.
No, I was told that.
And both that side, you've got good lats, so because you're not flexing them and you're not flaring them out, you look more narrower than you actually are and you're doing yourself an injustice.
Right, okay.
So just focus, just for a minute, just roll your scapulas back and forth, roll them back down, back, and what that's going to do is it's going to engage the latissimus dorsi. So rather than actually using your shoulders, use your scapula. That's it. So I can feel your lats slightly engaging, then relaxing, slightly engaging, and relaxing. You get used to that movement. Like I can literally flare my lats. If I was to go like this, my lats are now flared.
So what am I looking to do? Concentrate on my lats. Yeah.
See that difference there that's made? I don't know if the camera's picked that. Your lats now, they're all there. Right. Before they weren't there, and you look at yourself so much more narrow. So by you rolling your scapulas back, you develop this connection with that muscle. You look so much wider now. It's ridiculous. And this is exactly why, obviously, we mentioned it in the podcast, because it makes such a difference. Right. You've got great lats, and you weren't showcasing them off, but now you are, and you've really got that V-taper going from your top half down to the bottom half, where before you were just a rectangle, just going straight down.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, rolling your scapulars is going to create that connection. So make sure you're always doing that. Whether it's when you're training back and you've got that kind of the lactic acid, you know, you're a bit fatigued within that muscle group, do that and you'll create this connection with it and you'll get more familiar with it.
So it's something I need to be consciously, well not consciously, but something I need to be doing at all times and just engaging with my lats.
So
Than relaxing.
your lats should always be engaged, yeah.
Okay.
You know, the side pose we don't have to concentrate on it too much, but definitely back and front 100%. Now, whether you want to actually, if you struggle to, when your competition comes, if you struggle to engage your lats like you are now by not rotating your scapulars, then just rotate your scapulars on stage.
Okay.
You know, when you go into your transitions, there's stuff that you can do that's going to help you to get into that position. It's not like you're going to get into position, get there, and then be like, you know,
right.
we can make it look effortless when you roll your scapulars and your lats will come out. So do that from now until your competition to engage. But so let's do the front pose again, whilst engaging the lats as possible.
I can feel myself not engaged.
Yeah, but that's good. That's good that you can feel yourself not engaging it because you know you're not doing it right, and you can get familiar with engaging it. There's something that you're doing. There's something that you're tensing that's not allowing you to bring your lats out.
I don't know whether it's my.
Take your hands off your hips, and then engage them. Okay, good. They're engaged now. So now, put your hand on your hip. So just relax completely. Relax your top half, that's it. And now get into the pose with your hand on your hip. Yes, they've gone again. So it could be the problem of you putting this hand on that hip, which is actually, it's not stopping you. When you have both of your arms up, your lats seem to get engaged.
Yeah.
So, you know, posing's all about finding what's best for you. Mm-hmm. And if what's best for you is to keep your hands off of your waist, that's fine. I would rather you have your hand off of your waist
and engage.
Yeah, I'd rather you have your hand off of your waist and engage your lats than to have it on and to not have them.
Sure.
Because the view of the lats from the front is so detrimental to how the actual physique looks, definitely. So let's do that again. So do the front pose for me, hands not on hips. Yeah, you've just got a triangular look when you do that. And then relax, and then do it again with your hand on hip, just to make sure. Yeah, so as soon as you put that hand on your hip, that's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
So
I can feel it gone as well. It doesn't feel engaged.
Yeah. So we've obviously got an hour today, and I don't want to spend all the time on the front pose, but what you can do to help yourself, because your competition's so soon, is practice both. Practice your hands not on your hip, and practice your hand on your hip, but practice your hand on your hip more than you do, because I want you to try and develop that connection with the muscle, with the hand on the hip, because that's technically what the mandatory pose is.
Yes.
But saying that, I'd rather your lats be engaged and your hands be off of your hip. So practice it, and then hopefully by the time the competition comes around, you'll develop it a lot more. Obviously, we'll stay in contact. You can send me pictures and stuff like that, and that's all right. So, right, front pose down, quarter turn to the right. Boom. Right, cool. So I remember you've remembered a lot of things. Very nice. Yeah, that bend in that front leg's good. I see, because before you were bringing that over, weren't you? But now you're pushing it through, which is creating all the striations through here in your chest, which a lot of people don't actually do on stage. A lot of people will just think their arm's just there for some sort of, I don't really know why they think it's there. They just it's just floating.
Right.
And all of this is just soft and fleshy. But if you, what I would say is, rather than going over, push through. Because when you push through, all of that craziness. Lovely. And then, so just relax for a minute, and then when you get into the pose again, when you actually get into it, hold it and then breathe out.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay. Yeah.
So when you're ready, yeah, bang. As soon as you did that, all of your obliques started popping up more. I mean, they were already there, but now as soon as you've done that, really, like, all the cuts are starting to show. Nice.
Am I turning off?
That's exactly what I was about to point out. So you're very flat on the minute. Your waist is perfect, but then your top half, it was a little bit smaller, but now, you've rotated it, because the goal that we want to achieve is, for you to look broad here and to look small here. And that's the magic of the side pose, is that you are side on, then it's that moment that you turn at the hips, you're going to be broader on top.
Sure.
Good. Right, relax and then do it again. Nice. So let's engage this bicep for me. Good. That's another one that people forget on the side pose. They forget to tense this arm. Yeah. Good. Good. Calves. You've got good connection with your calves, actually. You never forget them, which is good. Cool. So at the minute, so relax. What you're doing when you do your side pose is your legs are fine. And what you're doing is it looks like you're actually putting the weight on your back foot because
Right. Okay.
because it looks,
am I leaning back?
yeah, it looks like you're leaning back.
Right.
But what you want to do is shift the weight onto this left leg, put a bend in it, and come round. So you
Oh,
almost
you
want to be
are-
actually bending over this way more than you do this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anything, I should be sort of like slightly leaning forward.
Yeah. So really do, when I say put the weight on that leg, put the weight on that leg.
Okay.
And by you putting the weight on the leg, also I know you're going to be wearing board shorts, but the striations within your calves are going to be popping out a lot more. Good. So just like if you were to contract your abs, it's obviously you're trying to shorten the muscle. Really just go like this, like you're doing a sit up. There we go. Hold on, let me look at that. Then go back to how you were. Okay, relax. Relax for a second. So I want you to, it looks like you're still quite upright. I want you just to kind of rock yourself forward a little bit. Maybe not bend over like that, but rock your whole body a little bit forward. Let's just see how that is. Good, yeah, and then turn your shoulders. Yeah, nice. Yeah, then breathe out. Good, yeah.
Where's this on?
So that arm, so rather than going over, you're pushing through your chest. And then obviously we don't clench our fists in men's physique, we'll keep them nice and open. I tend to, yeah, exactly that. I tend to get people to tuck in these two fingers and do whatever they want with this, just no gun signs. Perfect, yeah, that's really nice. Is that arm engaged? There you go, yeah, nice. Because you've actually got really good separation in your bicep and tricep, so, and when you don't engage that, that all goes. So as soon as you engage that, you can really see it, and that's something that a lot of people lack, so that will do you a lot of justice on stage. Yeah, nice. So relax, quarter turn to the right.
Are you leaning back?
Yeah, so I mean, what you can do is, if you actually, now I know on the front pose we said, so just relax for a second, I know we said to keep legs parallel, but what actually happens is, when you're doing the back pose, if you keep one foot slightly back and you put the weight on it,
on the back leg,
that instantly engages your lower back.
Right. Okay.
But also, like you said, yeah, bend at the trunk because the judges are lower than you.
That's right.
So you've got that illusion of creating.
Are these toes pointing forward or pointing side?
So slightly to the side because
to the side,
you know
right.
we still want to see a nice sweep in your legs for the back pose. Good. Then go into that for me. Right, and then relax, and then keep your both hands up. Yeah, so it's very similar to your front pose.
Yeah,
very similar
I
to your
can feel
front
it as
pose.
well.
Your lats, they just hide. You know,
Yeah.
when you got that, they just. But as soon as you've done that, you've just gone. You've just doubled in size. Yeah, really nice. So your back looks great, but we can definitely make it look better.
Okay.
Let's lift these up. Good. And then when you flare your lats up and you bring your elbows here, what I want you to do is just relax, just as you were. So when you bring your elbows up, and then if you pinch your elbows back ever so slightly, nice. What that's going to do is it's going to bring out all the detail in your traps or in your rear delts. It's going to give you this 3D look. So many people, when they bring their elbows up to flare their lats, they are really wide, but they have this 2D look and there's no dimension to the back.
Right.
So what that does by pinning your elbows back ever so slightly is it creates this thickness within your back, and we can see a lot more definitions. You know, I can just see now the striations coming through your traps, in your rear delts, down through your lats, and your Christmas tree is actually popping a lot. Yeah. So relax for me, and then do it again. So don't over exaggerate it. So relax here, just relax completely. That's right, relax. That's it. Just put your hands down by your side. So do what you did with your back when you flared your lats before I said to pin your elbows back. Because at the minute, I think now I've told you you're almost over exaggerating it. So flare your lats up and it's an ever so slight pinch back, and you do the pinch back at the end of the movement. So focus on spreading the lats first, and then don't do it at the same time. And then, yeah, lovely. And then bend at the trunk of your back ever so slightly. Boom, there you go. Do that on stage. Actually, you know what we can do? Let's bring these up higher. Yeah, because the higher you bring these, like we were saying on the podcast, the more confident you look and the wider you're looking.
Okay.
So relax, hands by your side, and then do it again. Get into it for me. Yeah, good. I mean, the shape of your back there, phenomenal. However, the way that you get into it doesn't look as fancy as we could make it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to, before you actually go up into this lat flare, is reach forward. Because what you're doing when you reach forward is you are making your back look flat, definitely. But when you're reaching forward and then you bring it back, the juxtaposition between that and this is it will make a big impact. So reach forward, and then when you bring your elbow, really drag your elbows across your body here, palms facing up, drag them up. So what you're going to do there is you're going to be showing the thickness, and then once you're here, bring them up, and then pinch the elbows back. So it's 3 stages. Well, it's technically 4. So forward, back, lat spread, and then pin back.
Okay.
Yeah? Relax, do it again. So reach forward, good, bring them back. Really, this is to really tense your traps here. Bring them back more, good. And then spread your lats, and then pin the elbows back ever so slightly. Yeah, cool, that's really nice. When we did it step by step like that, it worked really nicely.
Okay.
So just relax, hands by your side, and then do it again for me. Yeah, you've made such a world of difference by doing that. It looks neater, and your pose to how it was to how it looks now, world of difference. That is the difference between first and second.
Right.
Actually, you know what, the difference between what you were doing to what we're doing now is the difference between first and fifth, 100%, because you had no lats before, and now as soon as you're doing that, you've got rear delts, you've got traps, you've got lats, you've got it all, your Christmas trees popping. So let's just do that again. Reach forward, yeah, nice, bring them back, good. Yeah, really nice, really nice. In terms of the tempo, you can relax now. In terms of the tempo, so this bit's quite quick. When you get here, hold it for just half a second, and then we get into it, because you're not actually getting marked on this, but what I always say is, because technically that's a transition into a move, what I say is the secret to a good posing routine is to show your strengths and hide your weaknesses. And what you're doing there is showing a strength. Your back's well developed. So whilst you're not getting marked on it, it doesn't count as a pose. You know, as a judge, you can't ignore it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whilst you're judging them on their mandatory pose, you're still thinking, wait, if they're comparing you to the guy next to you, thinking, well, he actually just had a really thicker back, so I'm actually just going to give it to him. So reach forward, bring it back, hold it for half a second, and then bang. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Let's go. Good. Yeah, so you see, when you're just relax, so I thought it was just how your body worked, but when you went to spread the lats then, you then engaged your traps. What I need, basically, is when you bring your elbows back, is I need you to pinch your scapulars together.
So like this?
So these, bring them, if you can bring them, yeah.
There, that position there.
Yeah. See that there, wait, let's do that again. So relax, right, bring them back, and then go into the lat spread. Stop there. This is now engaged. This is what I need when you bring your elbows back.
Okay.
Yeah? This position here, because your traps are now all popping out. I don't know what you did differently. It looks to me as if you brought your scapulars in and you've now got all these engaged. So just relax. Try get into that position when you're bringing your elbows back.
Right. Okay.
Yeah? There you go. And now lat spread. Boom. Yeah, nice. That's made the world of difference. The world of difference. and relax. So quarter turn to the right. Yeah, nice. It's good that you noticed that. Let's put a slight bend in this leg as well for me. Great. And then what you're doing is similar to how you were. You're putting the weight onto that back foot. So I need you to, yeah, put the weight onto this leg, and I need you to lean forward because you were leaning back a little bit more. There you go. Yeah, nice. And then we push through the chest. So you can, I know you've got more than that. There you go. That's what we're looking for. Good. Good. So this half, really nice. This half is nice, but what you can do, this is all engaged, fantastic, is by raising your elbow up, what you're going to be doing is showing more width of the lat, because at the minute what you're doing is you're hiding the widest part of your back.
Yeah.
So whilst a side pose isn't focused technically on the lat, we don't want to hide it, because it's going to make you look wider. So when your hand's on your hip, still in the back of your mind be thinking, I still want to be showing my lat off.
Yeah.
So let's go again when you're ready. Yeah, there you go. And then I want your hips to move forward. There you go. There you go. Nice, nice. Relax, quarter turn to the right.
So the front pose then, yeah?
Yep, please.
Oh, it's really relaxed, engage.
Well, forget, yeah. Just relax for me and get into it again. Yeah. Your lats are so much better like that. They do. Right, relax. Have you got a drink or anything?
No, I don't really.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's go through them again. So all I'm going to say is quarter turn to the right. I want you to take your time. Don't worry about time. Don't rush into the pose. I'm in it for too long. Take your time. When you've got into the pose, I want you to say ready.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything, but that's when I will start judging you and I'll look at what we can fix.
Right.
So all I'm going to say is quarter turn to the right. All you're going to say is ready.
Right.
You say ready when you.
So you know when I do the front pose, I not.
Forget about that. No,
Yeah. No hands on no hips.
We're going to keep your hand up just because the difference.
Would that be allowed on the day?
You know.
Or am I just learning how to engage now and then practice with my hand on my hip?
The best choice would be is to have your hand on your hip.
Okay.
For sure, 100%. I mean, what actual federations are you doing?
UKBFF.
Yeah, right, okay. So yeah, the best option for you to do is to put your hand on your hip. But when you do that, your lats don't engage. So like I was saying, practice it with your hand on your hip away from this session and try and engage with that muscle group.
Okay.
If when it comes to your show, you can't engage with it, what we're going to do is we'll forget about the hand on the hip and we'll just take your hand off.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Cool. So yeah, I'll say quarter turn to the right,
Yeah.
you say ready. So you get into your front pose whenever you're ready. Is that you done?
That's me done. Sorry, ready.
So quarter turn to the right.
Ready.
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 Torso looks great there. Quarter turn to the right. Think about putting the weight onto that leg and just leaning forward for me. There you go.
Ready.
Quarter turn to the right. Pin those elbows back. That's it. Quarter turn to the right. Cool. And relax. So we're going to do that again, but I'm going to intervene and just point out a few things that you're doing. So, yeah, quarter turn. So if you get into the front pose now, sorry. Good. Yeah. quarter turn to the right. Good. So let's concentrate on putting the weight on this leg and tilting forward. There you go, and that makes a difference.
Okay.
Let's engage that. Perfect. Yeah, lovely. Breathe out. Lovely. Quarter turn to the right. So reach forward.
Is this when I'm reaching forward?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah. Quarter turn to the right. Good. Let's shift that. Shift your weight. There you go. Good. And yeah, that's it. Right. So because we're doing, I'm going to teach you this.
Yeah.
In case we, in case you don't put your hand on your hip. If we're doing this pose, so you get into it again for me. Cool. Let's really put them up. That's it. Just for me, relax. Do that again for me. Get into your front pose. Yeah, good. And then what I want you to do is to almost bend back and then bring this chest like there's a bit of string. And I just want to pull it up a little bit more. Not so dramatically. Breathe out. Relax again. Do your front pose as you were doing it before, not bringing your hands up here, just keep them quite low. No. Okay, relax. So put your elbows up here, and then, like we were doing with your scapulars, just rotate them for me. Yeah, see that there is where you want it. Wherever you're holding your scapulars now, that's when your lats are engaged, because sometimes they go and sometimes they don't. I think it's at the bottom here where your lats engage, but that's where your lats are engaged. That's fine there. And then breathe out. Okay, relax. Do that again for me, but just forget about your abs. So just relax, hands by your side, and get into it. Yeah. And now engage your abs. Relax. So when you engage your abs, they slightly start to disappear. And
my abs?
No, your abs are phenomenal. Your lats, they're still there, but they're not as there when your abs aren't engaged. And I think that tends to be because people, when they tense their abs, they automatically just go, you know, it's like you're doing a sit-up, and you're obviously shortening the muscle fibers. Okay. So you go like that, and because you're going like that, your lats are going now. So what I need you to do is, when you breathe out and stuff like that, your abs look fantastic, they really do. But try and get used to,
still being upright.
Yeah, exactly that. Find the balance between it. You know, someone said that to me before when I was first competing. Find the balance between having your lats spread and your abs engaged, because when you are all in, your lats now go. So try and engage your abs here without going down, because you don't need to do that. You can think about it here, so tense my abs, wiggle into it, and then your lats are still going to be here. So that's something for you to go away with and think about. Keep in contact with me until your competition. I want, if you keep sending me pictures and stuff, because when it gets to like a week before your competition, I'll assess, and then from there we'll say, okay, you know what, put your hands here, do this, do that. So, but because you've got, as you say, it's what, 3 weeks?
Yeah, 29th.
So in their 2 weeks, just keep practicing for the mandatory poses, how they are, like here. But when it gets to the 1 week out, message me, and we're going to see where you're at, and then we're going to pick your poses there.
Okay.
Yeah? So, right, let's do a front pose again. Good. Yeah, that's nice. Quarter turn to the right. Really push through that chest, really engage it. There you go. Use that. Nice. Yeah, nice. Quarter turn to the right. You've got a habit of doing that thing again now, so just relax. So reach forward and pull them back. And then do your lat spread. See, when you transition from this into that, you almost bring that, because you're rotating your scapulars up, your traps are then popping a lot more. So what I need you to do is bring these here and then rotate your scapulars.
So am I doing the right thing then? Yeah.
So that is what you want to be doing.
Right.
So I think what you were doing is you were pulling your elbows back
Yeah.
and not doing anything with your scapulars. So what you need to do is reach forward, pull these back, and then rotate your scapulars upwards, because we're pinching them together. We're literally pinching the scapular bones together to then bring out your traps a lot more.
So is that okay?
That is perfect. That is what you want. So
Right, okay.
bring your elbows back, rotate the scapulars, and then flare up into a lat spread. Good. And then slight pin back, brings out all the definition down your back. Yeah, mint. Quarter turn to the right. Yeah, good. Good. So yeah, exactly that. You've got a habit of leaning back. I really want you to be more leaning forward than you are back.
Yeah.
Yeah? Quarter turn to the right. Yeah. Good. Relax. Are you consciously doing something different with your abs now?
I think so.
Because your lats they're always there now.
Right.
And for a brief moment there, I'm pretty sure I saw you have your hand kind of near your hip and your lats were engaged.
Right, okay. Must be
So
working.
you've definitely got the ability to do it. Don't think
Okay.
it's just my body, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Because they were there for a minute and then you obviously brought your hand up. So yeah, definitely do keep practicing that. So get into the front pose again for me. Quarter turn to the right. There you go. Just for a second, just so you. Right. I think what. Yeah, it's. Okay. Let's put less of a bend in this leg.
Okay.
What I want you to do, there's still a slight bend, don't hyperextend it, but have an ever so slight bend. And now do your front pose for me.
Front pose?
Sorry, side pose, but so let's have a less of a bend than that. Almost just bring your back heel to here. Yeah. And then do the side pose for me.
Lean forward.
Yeah. I just think that looks better. Yeah. I think what was the problem
Or
was
slightly less of a bend.
because there was so much of a bend here.
Yeah.
Your body was. It just didn't look. Weird to say, but it didn't look as fluid. It didn't like.
It didn't feel right.
It didn't flow up.
Yeah, it didn't feel right as well.
No.
When I was bending over like that, just
Yeah.
feel right.
So yeah, meet me
feels-
in the middle and don't do as much of a bend.
So there. Is that right? Is that enough bend?
Say, almost
Slightly
bring your torso forward. So at the hip. So at the minute it seems like you're here.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is kind of
Okay.
If you think about the position of your knee to your toes, like a squat,
Yeah.
obviously what you want it to be behind the toes. So what I want you to do on this is actually bring your knee a little bit more forward
Okay.
in front of your toes here,
Put my toes here.
but sorry, not at the joint. So if you keep that there, and then at the hips by bringing your femur forward. Let me just see that. And then to get into the pose for me, side pose. Yeah, it's nice. So yeah, when you're doing that, so I want your knee in line with your toes, but don't put such an exaggeration in the bend. I want you to more move your femur forward using your hips. Then I do want you to bring your knee forward over your toes.
More like that then.
Yeah. And then look up and then turn your shoulders, nice. Yeah. Yeah, that's spot on, that's so much better I think. Quarter turn to the right. So you did it again there. Do you see it as well? I don't know if you notice it. So when you reach forward and you bring them back, sometimes, so here, and then think about your scapulars now. So now I want you to rotate your scapulars up. And this one. So now, right, do the lat spread for me. Right, relax. Go forward. Bring them back. lat spread. There. That's what you want there. So so when you do the lat spread, that's when your traps come out. But we want your traps to come out when you bring your elbows back. So relax, then reach forward, reach back, lat spread. See, it's what you're doing with your scapulars that are obviously determine what's going on with your traps and things like that.
Okay.
What I need you to do is I need you to learn how to bring your elbows back and then rotate your scapulars
At the same time?
upwards. I mean, you don't have to do it at the same time. So when you get your elbows in position and then bring your scapulars up, because when you're flaring into your lats, that's when you're moving your scapulars and that's when the thickness of your traps start coming out. But I need the thickness of your traps to come out now because that's the whole reason of this transition into the lat, is to show the thickness of your back.
So as I'm leaning back, I should be...
So yeah, you reach forward and then you drag your elbows back, but don't just move your shoulder joint and your hinge joint on your arm. I need you to also think about your scapulars as well. So bring them back, drag them back, back.
There's something I'm doing.
Hey, I think what you're doing now is you're consciously trying to shrug your traps. Don't do that, so relax. So reach forward, just drag your elbows back, just ever so slightly. Don't think about like trying to squeeze as hard as you can. And then do a lat spread. See there, where your scapulars are when you do that movement there, is where I need your scapulars to be.
When I'm
because
back.
you can still, your traps will still look the same because you've done it before if you keep your elbows here. It's not your, the shoulder joints that are working this muscle here. So reach forward again for me. And bring them back. There. What you just did there is what you need to do. Yeah. Yes. Do it again for me. Yeah. Boom.
It's that
Again
mind
for me.
muscle.
One more time.
Muscle. Definitely my muscle.
One more time. Yeah. Bang. Done. Do that when you do your back pose. You'll be spot on. So let's go again. So reach forward and then bring it back. There you go. And then lat spread. Yeah. Nice. Really good. Sweet. Let's do a quarter turn to the right. Yeah, quarter turn to the right. Yeah. Quarter turn to the right. Breathe out. See, I can tell when you're not breathing out. Engage that arm for me. Yeah, nice. Quarter turn to the right. Yeah, really nice. Your back looks really good there. Quarter turn to the right. Boom. Nice. Quarter turn to the right. Nice. Good. That's it. So what I want you to do is obviously, it's good that you filmed it because you can look back at this footage, definitely, and you'll watch this back because, especially that end bit there where you did your back, because you'll notice the massive difference. It's not even like, oh yeah, it kind of looks a bit bigger here. Like, it transforms your back, definitely, so look back at that. We'll end it there because I've got to set up the gym and obviously we've got to pack this stuff up. Cool. But yeah, so the difference again, you definitely, when you showed me your mandatory poses, that's definitely where you were, I think, when we finished our last session. And now you've developed even more, definitely, 100%. Good. So I think the major things that we did, obviously you can look back at the video, is the positioning of your leg on the side pose. So I want you to bring your hips forward more so than your knee, because I think you had your hips back and the knee forward. In my find, it's hard to look at people and kind of assess what's wrong with it, because you can look at it and you know that something's not quite there. Yeah,
but it's tweaking it.
But it's good that we've sussed it. So it's keeping, so less exaggeration bend and bringing your hips forward. That's one, and then obviously the transition with bringing your elbows back, that was a major one as well. Then I want you to go away and practice bringing your lats out like here, but if it doesn't work, then we'll just keep them here.
Okay. Yeah.
So if that doesn't work, because I'd rather you here and have your lats than here and not.
Yeah.
But that's it. Sweet.
Nice.
Cool.
Cheers, man. Thanks,
Good work, dude.
Cheers, man.